Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce ourselves. My name is Muhammad Asikin. I will be presented our research about development of STEM nuance textbook to improve students' mathematical communication skill. And there is some introduction about the research. And the first, education is a foundation that can develop student abilities and prepare students for problem solving, communication, and decision making skill. And then World Economic Forum 2016, Education and Health Sector of Indonesia in the 100 position. In the PISA 2019 score, the average score on mathematics and science of Indonesian students are below the international average. And then we have one solution: develop teaching materials, and teaching materials is all forms of material that use in the learning process. And we use STEM had been developed in several countries and effective to use in learning. Share about mathematical communication indicator is there like that, and then problem-based learning stage for online learning process. There are 5 stages like student orientation to the problem, organizing student to learn, guiding individual investigation, present the work in writing, and evaluating the problem solving process. So we had a research aims to develop and know the quality of STEM nuance teaching material based on the suitability of characteristic, validity, readability, and improvement of students' mathematical communication skill. And there is our research method. We use research and development method. And the first stage is we declare about potential and problem. We collect our data. We project our design, and then design validation, project test or readability test, and then trial test. And we have our final project. For the first steps, we declare about the potential and problems. We know that in teaching material in school is not comprehensive about STEM and not facilitated mathematical communication. And there is our several books in mathematics department library of UNES that contains proportion material that we develop in these learning materials. In project design, the teaching materials content was written based on students' book analysis format from the Ministry of Education and Culture. With the first is aspect of the suitability of STEM nuanced teaching material content with the basic competence. And the second, we the breadth, deep, current condition, and accuracy of the learning material of STEM nuanced teaching materials. The third, show example of learning materials, knowledge, factual, conceptual, and product and procedural in each chapter of the student books related to the STEM. The fourth, the suitability of learning activities in STEM nuance teaching materials. And the final is the assessment in STEM nuance teaching material. And this is the characteristic of STEM nuance teaching materials. The STEM nuance teaching material had the characteristic based on the Ministry of Education and Culture books analysis format. 5 validator suggested a revision in several contents such as adjusting the material with the first core competence, adding a perception, and updating the material with the current condition. And this is uh, our result about the validity of STEM nuance teaching materials. And we know that STEM improve learning outcomes. Illustration helps students understand the material, and the use of language enhance spelling or AED make the teaching material easy to understand. And this is our result about the validity. We know that content validity has a criteria excellent, and all of them has a criteria excellent. And then our next step is project test or readability test. And we have our result is 63.65% for easy to understand. And then we have a good readability and good quality. In a trial test, we have a normality test and NKIN result. And so we conclude that pretest and post-test data are normally distributed, and there was the improvement of mathematical communication skill with the medium criteria. And then this is the average score of mathematical communication indicator on pretest and post-test. And this is the NKIN result based on the indicator of mathematical communication skill. And we know that uh, the ability to express mathematical ideas in table or graphs has the highest NCAN for indicator of mathematical communication skill. Okay, we conclude that STEM-nuanced teaching material on direct and inverse proportion had fulfilled the characteristic of student books guidelines published by Ministry of Education and Culture in 2018. STEM-nuanced teaching materials was valid and can be used in the learning process, easily understood by students, and could improve students' mathematical communication skill. This indicated that the STEM nuance teaching material was qualified, and we have some recommendation to develop a STEM nuance teaching material that contain the other material or other mathematical skills. So thank you for your attention.